Let me ask you something uncomfortable. How many problems in your life get worse the moment you start explaining yourself? You explain your tone, you explain your decision, you explain your boundary, you explain, and somehow you still feel misunderstood. Plus, now you're exhausted. If 2026 breaks you, it probably won't be one big disaster. It'll be 1,000 tiny leaks, reacting too fast, talking too much, comparing too often, and performing like you're always on trial. In this video, you'll learn 10 habits the top 1% use to protect their mind, guard their silence, and move forward while everyone else is still stuck in noise. And near the end, I'll expose one mistake most people make when they try to stay calm. A mistake that quietly makes them easier to distract, easier to manipulate, and easier to break. This message isn't for everyone. It's for people who are tired of being available to everyone except themselves. Maybe you're 35 to 45, juggling real responsibilities, work, bills, kids, parents getting older, a relationship that needs attention. And on top of all of that, the world expects you to have a perfect attitude online. Smile, post, react, keep up, prove you're fine. The ancient Stoics lived in chaos too. Politics, war, public pressure. Marcus Aurelius carried an empire on his shoulders. Epictetus was once a slave. They all came back to the same truth. You can't control the world, but you can control your mind, your attitude, and your actions. And here's where Machiavelli actually fits. Because the modern world doesn't just accidentally distract you. Some people will push your buttons to get a reaction. Some will bait you into explaining because explanations give them something to argue with. Some will keep you competing because competition keeps you insecure, and insecure people are easy to steer. Stoicism teaches you how to protect your inner world. Machiavelli reminds you that not everyone plays fair in the outer one, so we take the useful part from both. Clarity inside, strategy outside. Quick promise before we start. As you listen, don't just agree. Choose one habit you'll apply this week, because insight without action is just another form of entertainment. And this is not entertainment. This is your life. Quick preview so you know what you're getting. We'll start with silence and focus, then move into emotional control and discipline, and we'll finish with boundaries, pain, and transformation. So if you've been feeling scattered lately, stay with me. This is a clean reset you can actually follow. Habit 1. Keep your process private. Not everyone deserves access to your process. Silence protects your momentum. You felt it. You share a plan, new job, fitness goal, business idea, and the energy drops in the room. You get a fake smile, a sarcastic joke, or the "I'm just being realistic" speech. Suddenly you're defending your dream like you're in court. And even if nobody says anything, your mind starts rehearsing. What if they're right? That's how momentum dies. Quietly. Keep your plans small and your actions loud. Tell fewer people. Do more reps. If you need to talk to a coach, a journal, or one trusted friend who actually wants you to win. Stoic rule. Focus on what's in your control, your effort, your discipline, your next step. Practical rule. Announce results, not intentions. Because most people don't hate your dream, they hate the reminder that they abandoned theirs. Habit 2 is where most people lose their mornings without even noticing. Habit 2. Stop comparing or you'll never rest. Comparison is a thief that doesn't just steal joy, it steals clarity. Picture this. You wake up, you're half awake, and your thumb is already scrolling. Within 5 minutes, you've seen someone's promotion, someone's vacation, someone's perfect family photo. And even if you know it's curated, your nervous system still reacts like it's real. Now you're late, emotionally. You walk into your day already feeling behind, already tense, already chasing. This is why you can work hard and still feel like you're losing, because you're not measuring your life. You're measuring your life against someone else's highlight reel. Set a rule. No social media for the first 30 minutes of your day. Replace it with something that puts you back in your lane. Water, sunlight, a short walk, 5 lines of journaling. And if you're not ready to quit scrolling, at least change the question. Instead of, "Why not me?" ask, "What's my next step today?" Marcus Aurelius said the mind takes the shape of what it repeatedly holds in itself. So feed it what strengthens you, not what triggers you. Your lane is your life. Stay in it. Habit 3 is uncomfortable, but it's the habit that makes you emotionally independent. Habit 3. Learn to be alone without feeling left behind. Solitude isn't punishment, it's training. A lot of people fear silence because silence forces a question. Am I okay with who I am when no one is watching? So they fill every gap. Podcasts, scrolling, texting, background noise. They keep a show running in their head because quiet feels like loneliness, and loneliness feels like failure. But here's the truth. If you can't be alone, you'll tolerate anything just to avoid it. A toxic friend, a draining relationship, a job that breaks your spirit. Because even pain can feel better than emptiness. Start small. 10 minutes a day with no phone, no music, no input. Just you and your thoughts. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. That's normal. You're detoxing. When the anxiety shows up, don't fight it. Observe it. Epictetus didn't teach comfort. He taught freedom. If you can sit with yourself, you become harder to control, and you stop needing the crowd to feel real. Habit 4 is the moment you stop giving your power away in real time, especially in conflict. Habit 4. Control your reaction, or someone else will. The first person to lose emotional control loses leverage. Think about your last argument. Maybe it was at work. Someone disrespected you in a meeting and you felt that heat rise. Or at home, your partner said something sharp and you fired back without thinking. Or online, someone made a comment and you had to correct them. You reacted instantly, and afterward you replayed it like a movie you hate, wishing you could edit one sentence. That's the cost of instant reaction. You don't just lose the moment, you lose the next few hours, because your mind stays stuck on what happened instead of what matters. Build a pause habit. When you feel the heat rise, don't speak. Breathe once, then ask one question. What response helps future me? Sometimes the strongest move is not replying right now. Stoicism isn't don't feel, it's don't be ruled. And Machiavelli's reminder is simple. Emotional people are predictable, so become less predictable by becoming calmer. Habit 5 is where your life changes, because this is what you do when nobody is watching. Habit 5. Discipline when nobody claps. Your real character shows up when nobody is there to reward you. You've done this. You start strong when people notice. Gym week 1, great. Diet week 1, great. You tell someone, they hype you up, and it feels good. Then the praise fades, the routine gets boring, the work week hits, and you quietly slide back. Not because you're lazy, because you were relying on motivation instead of identity. And in your 30s and 40s, the stakes are higher. Your energy matters, your health matters, your mental stability matters. You don't have time for cycles that keep resetting. Make discipline smaller, not bigger. One workout you can't talk yourself out of. One meal choice you can repeat. A bedtime you protect like a meeting. Then track it, quietly. Just you versus you. Seneca warned that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. So stop imagining the perfect plan and commit to the next right action. Consistency is quieter than hype and far more powerful. Habit 6 is the boundary habit. It's simple, but it will change how people treat you. Habit 6. Stop explaining yourself. Over-explaining is often fear wearing a polite mask. You say no and you feel guilty, so you add paragraphs. You set a boundary and you feel anxious, so you justify it. You make a decision and you worry people won't like you, so you try to make it sound reasonable. But the more you explain, the more you invite negotiation, and then you end up resentful because you gave away your own authority. This is where people get trapped. They think being nice means being endlessly available, but constant availability turns into quiet resentment, and resentment turns into burnout. Practice short sentences. No, I can't. That doesn't work for me. I'm not available. You don't need to be harsh, you just need to be clear. If someone demands reasons, you can simply repeat the decision. Stoic principle, you are responsible for your choices, not for everyone's approval. And here's the modern truth. People who respect you don't require a speech. Habit 7 is about integrity, because nothing drains you faster than being split in two.
Habit 7. Align what you think, say, and do nothing drains you faster than living two lives. The one you say you want, and the one you keep repeating. You tell yourself you want peace, but you keep checking the same person who stresses you out. You tell yourself you want health, but you keep negotiating with cravings at midnight. You tell yourself you want respect, but you keep tolerating disrespect because you don't want conflict. That gap between your words and your behavior creates quiet self-contempt, and self-contempt kills confidence. This is why some people look strong online but feel weak inside, because their life doesn't match their claims, and deep down, they know it. Make your life honest again. Pick one value, peace, strength, stability, and ask, what would someone who values this do today? Then do one action that matches it. Text less, train more, scroll less, sleep more, argue less, build more. You don't need a new identity overnight. You need a daily vote for the person you're becoming. Habit 8 is about saying no without turning into someone cold. Habit 8. Say no without feeling like a villain. Every yes you give away is a future resentment you store up. You've stayed late at work when you didn't have to. You've answered calls you didn't want to answer. You've agreed to plans you secretly hated. Then you spent the whole time irritated. And afterward you wondered, why am I so burned out? Because your boundaries are leaking. And the hardest part? You might be the reliable one in your family, the one people call when they need help. So when you start saying no, they act shocked, like you changed the rules. Use the simple no, plus a calm alternative when needed. I can't do that, but I can do this. Or, not this week. And if someone pushes, repeat yourself once, then stop talking. A boundary is not a debate. People who benefit from your weakness will call your boundary selfish. That's not a signal to fold. That's a signal you're finally growing. Habit 9 is where you stop wasting pain and start using it. Habit 9. Turn pain into fuel, not drama. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Drama is a choice. Life hits you in ways you didn't schedule. A rejection, a layoff, a betrayal, a health scare, a parent getting older. And in that moment, your mind wants to spiral. Why me? This isn't fair. I can't handle this. But spiraling doesn't protect you. It just drains you. And the world will happily let you spiral. Algorithms profit from outrage. Some people profit from your insecurity. Even your own habits profit from keeping you numb. Stoics practiced negative visualization, not to be pessimistic, but to be prepared. Name the pain honestly, then ask, what does this teach me? Write it down. Train it. Use it. Turn pain into structure, a routine, a boundary, a better standard. Your pain can become wisdom, endurance, and sharper priorities. Or it can become a story you tell for years while your life stays the same. Choose the first. Habit 10 is the final shift, when people start saying, you're different, and you don't even need to respond. Habit 10. Become unrecognizable in the best way. Real transformation is quiet at first and obvious later. At some point, you'll notice something strange. You don't argue like you used to. You don't chase people who don't choose you. You don't panic when someone disagrees. You don't post every win because you don't need the world to clap. And here's the part nobody warns you about. When you get stronger, some people get uncomfortable because your silence removes their control. Your focus removes their access. Your boundaries remove their leverage. Let them be uncomfortable. Marcus Aurelius wrote that it's a waste of time to argue about what a good person should be. The point is to be one. So stop announcing change and start living it. Make quiet decisions, not replying, not explaining, not performing, not begging for validation. That's how you become unrecognizable, not colder, stronger. The one mistake most people make. Here's the mistake. They use silence to avoid instead of silence to build. They go quiet, but they don't get disciplined. They stop explaining, but they keep scrolling. They cut people off, but they don't fix the emptiness inside. So the noise comes back, just in a different form. Silence works only when it's paired with action. Quiet isn't the goal. Quiet is the environment where your new life can grow. So if you want 2026 to be different, remember this. Keep your process private. Stop comparing. Train solitude. Control your reaction. Build discipline without applause. Stop over-explaining. Align your actions with your values. Say no without guilt. Use pain as fuel. And become unrecognizable through quiet consistency. If this hit you, don't just let it be a good video. Pick one habit and practice it for the next 7 days. 1 week, one small shift. That's how real change starts. If you want more stoicism that actually works in modern life, simple, practical, and honest, subscribe to StoicCraft. And I'm curious, which habit is hardest for you right now? Silence, boundaries, or discipline? Drop one word in the comments. Silence, boundaries, or discipline. I read the comments, and it helps me shape the next video around what you're actually dealing with.